Ironheart 10 starts with a throwback to the Stefano Caselli days where she'd be shooting a video documentary to herself. If you think it was a wasted page, it was a bonus page. I just think Vecchio has a lot of time on his hand. He did the Yancey Street Fantastic Four comic book a couple of months ago, a month ago, and no time passed over here in Ironheart's comic book. I remember him doing a extra cover for Spider-Man and Riri's tie-in, and he didn't have to, but he posted that one on Twitter. So maybe he's just a fast artist like that. First page of Real Meaning has Xavier talking to Riri. He really wanted to know if the Wakandan food slaps. It's cool to see slang that I learned this week in a comic book by Wednesday. It shows you that Eve Ewing's got her finger on the pulse. She's the most qualified writer to be doing this book. Next, Riri joins the war room. Silhouette and Shuri are already in there. It looks like enough time has passed where they trust Silhouette. Not enough time for me. I don't know how much time needs to pass where I can trust someone who just bursts on the scene with shadow manipulation powers, unless their name is Shikamaru Nara. There's no trusting there, and she says that she was Midnight's Fire's sister. Regardless, she breaks down what the wellspring of power is. It's this unlimited source of energy. It can take over worlds, universes, the past, the present, and they're looking to make a blood sacrifice to get this power. And as soon as she says that, Riri, being this super genius that she is, finishes her sentence. That's what the zombies were for. They were trying to take human energy. That's what they were doing here in Wakanda. They were taking the life energy out of the Wakandans. They were trying to harness enough where they don't have to actually, the 10 rings folks, don't actually, in the cult, they don't actually have to sacrifice their own lives, and they can do this riskless. So it was nice to see Riri being a super genius. But it's also not nice to see that this is an Avengers level threat if there ever was one. And you can pick at every single comic book for this reason of why you didn't just make the phone call to the champions. Nova, Human Rocket, can you be here in a minute? No, sorry, there's school. That's not realistically going to happen. It's the end of the world. I would like for that to happen. You could also argue, because I like arguing both points, that there was such a sense of urgency that there wasn't enough time. Because as soon as Riri heard about it, she was like,
let's rock it!
You don't know how many weeks I waited to use that drop. Ironheart came through. The Pink Ranger came through. Continuing with the review, they take some vehicles to the Wellspring of Power. It took about an hour, which defeats my argument of urgency. They get there. Inside the car ride, they were talking about fatherhoods. They were talking about, and I said, uh-oh, fatherhoods. This is going to be it. I got in a little thing in the comment section from a couple of videos ago on someone else's video, what might have been Comic Uno, where someone hinted to me that the father will appear in this comic book, and I'm like, what are the clues? What are you talking about? They keep bringing it up, and okay, it does make sense the way that it slowly worked its way into this comic book here. And it turned into a contest of who has it worse. My stepdad died. Yeah, but then my biological father is dead. Oh, well, my mom had to give me up. I can kind of understand it. It felt like something that we used to do when we were younger. Shoot, around this age, 15, maybe a little younger. We had it so bad. We only had the Nintendo when the 64 was still out. Well, at least you guys had the school bus coming up because they cut the funding by the time we hit grade 1. It felt like very childhood, actually. There was even a line in there about men always think they know what's best. And that doesn't bother me because I'm not fragile. Okoye shows up on the scene after the fight. The shadow beasts were slain. The zombies were slain. And I like this a whole lot more than I like the Avengers Endgame, which I did a video on. When she says she's got help, and 7, 8 women started to appear on the screen as like agenda tokens. Those are 2 buzz terms, and believe me, I'm not one of those people when I say agenda and token, but that's exactly what these chess pieces were in that part of Avengers Endgame. It was like Wasp dropped what she was doing, which was an important task, to join them here. And I made a video on that again, and I'll plug that. We're continuing on with this comic book. There was a point in here where they made it into the Wellspring of Power, where Silhouette said, wait here, guys, I'll do some recon. I was like, this is where she turns. No, I was wrong. This is not where she turns. This is where the comic book takes a turn. It takes a huge twist. Because in this cult circle, Midnight's Fire's there. Zombie Eclipse is there. I'm sure Miles Morales' villain was there too in issue 6. someone else is there. She returns with some information, and it's your dad, Riri. It's your dad. Now, I'm not goody gosh over it. I'm actually upset over it. I think it's an unoriginal story point. I think it's something that's been done to its most effect in a movie called Star Wars Episode 5 Empire Strikes Back. The main antagonist, Lord Vader. I'll stop being silly. That, I Am Your Father,
I am your father,
is as good as it gets. And the backstory and everything that came with it, the prequels, completed it and hugged it and made it so nothing will touch that. No parentage. I don't care what they're doing with Rey. I'm sure she's got to have parents. I don't care what they're doing with any character ever. I know Iron Man did it, and it wasn't original either, because now Howard Stark, as if that wasn't enough. No. That wasn't your parents. These two people were parents. One of them is S.H.I.E.L.D. and one of them's Hydra. It's like, parents being meaningful characters isn't so necessary. I think Peter Parker's parents are down with Nick Fury. Even Miles Morales' parents, his dad was doing some stuff. At least his mom is just a normal nurse. Who else we got? There's so many characters. If I just brought up their parents, you would be like, wow. What I'm trying to say is, I'm okay with characters coming from normal lineages where their parents weren't either villains or heroes. Just let them be. Let them come into their own. What I like about Ironheart so far in this series is that she's not Iron Man Jr. or anybody Jr. She's just her own person. And to see her be somebody else Jr. doesn't work for me at all. It was cool. It was impactful, but it was only second place. It'll always hold a good second place. I can say a lot of good things about it too, and I'm sure there are a lot of gleeful folk who are watching this video who are like, fuck, Chillmonger didn't like it. No, I didn't like it. That's a trope for me. That's a comic book, or that's a storytelling cliche, if I've ever seen one. This the father being someone from the father being someone meaningful. They could make a lot of sense of it. I'm sure that, you know, her stepdad who died in that random gun violence shooting, and she's been having a problem with random gun violence. If you read her Bendis Day stories, maybe there wasn't so random after all. How about if it was a hit on stepdad? What if another thing? What if now we know why Midnight's Fire never killed Riri, and when he had enough chances to do so, he's down with the 10th ring member, Riri's dad, who remains unnamed, but I think, or I know, in the comic book for the next week, you're going to see Riri pressed up against the tombstone. Here's a picture. I'll put it up right now. And you only see R.I. Williams. Initially, maybe last week, we all thought this was a Riri Williams tombstone. It's got to be her dead dad's tombstone. And based on the spacing of the R and the I, let's all guess. We'll make the comment section fun. What is Riri's dad's name? I'm going to say Omari, O-M-A, and then it's the R.I. Williams. Let's have fun. What do you think her dad's name is? Again, this wasn't bad. This was just something I've seen before. I like the presentation of it. Layouts, Jeffo, you did a good job laying this comic out, because the reveal was on the final page. Oh, that first page had... Where's my book? Where's my comic? I don't think I brought it with me. I did. The first page... Spoilers, I'm going to show the final page. So the very final page is an advertisement, and this. I like that Riri's face is up here to compare her with her dad right over here. I can look here and I can look there, because that's what was trying to use to explain that this might be your dad. I like that the layout was there. I like the final page reveal. I do, and he does look like her. He looks very much like her. I do like that of it. I do like the Midnight's Fire didn't kill her for these reasons. There's a lot that's gonna make sense, and that this is built on. It's just not Anakin and Luke. I appreciate you guys watching my videos as always. Comment section, is it Omari in this tombstone over here? Let me know. Here's the most recent video up there, and then below that is the Avengers Endgame scene where all the women show up and what I had to say about it. Thanks for watching.